Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host today, Bumpy McSquigums, and we are shining our little indie spotlight on AI War 2 from Arkin Games. Arkin Games has been one of the companies that we have been working with for a very long time, and we've helped out on quite a few of their games, and yeah, we continue to do the PR stuff for them and the outreach and any other upcoming things, or just recently released the Nine Zul Abyss DLC for AI War 2. We handled all of that stuff. We are the Indie Brothers. I am Bumpy McSquigums, and the head of streaming and video services, I suppose. And yeah, we're gonna basically dive into the game, showcase it, share it with you all for about an hour's time, and let you all see exactly what AI War 2 is all about. And more specifically, we're going to dive into the newest content, the latest content, the Nine Zul Abyss. So, real quick, we try anytime there's something happening with any of these games that we have worked on or we have covered, we try to tie in our weekly stream, our Indie Spotlight, with, hey, this came out, this is new, this is fresh, this is on sale, whatever it is, we try to tie into that. So, last Friday, the Nine Zul Abyss dropped, it released, and it is the latest DLC for AI War 2. There's a 10% launch discount all the way through till April 29th, around 1 p.m. Eastern. So you guys will be able to go and enjoy that 10% savings. You also can get AI War 2, 60% off. You can get AI War 2's first DLC, The Spire Rises, and the Zenith Onslaught. They're all on sale, so 60% off for AI War 2, the Spire Rise is 60% off, and the Zenith Onslaught is 33% off, I believe. And then, if that wasn't enough for you guys, that all stays on sale, I'm fairly certain, beyond, I think all the way up to May 9th. So, this is all part of the, greater Arkin library sale that's also going on, which is really, really cool. So if you like Arkin games and you want to play some more, or maybe there's a few holes in your Arkin games library, you'll be able to fill those in with this sale, as the rest of the Arkin games are actually 75% or more off. I believe A Valley Without Wind, A Valley Without Wind 2, and Tidalis are all 80% off, and Shattered Haven is 85% off. So, whole bunch of savings, and like I said, it ties in perfectly with what we're doing this week. I really enjoy AI War 2 personally myself. I've had several opportunities throughout the week to actually stream on the Steam store page for AI War 2. That is something that we offer as the Indie Brothers. So if you guys don't have someone in-house that can do that, or you're looking for someone to, put the right foot forward and stream for you guys, by all means, reach out to us and talk to us about that. Maybe that's the only thing you need. We can, again, piece together what it is that you need from Indie Brothers, our PR, marketing, and all the stuff that we do offer, and really customize it to what you actually need us to do. We have a few clients that actually only request the streaming that we do, so that's really nice to see. Anyway, enough babbling, enough chatting about all that, and if you guys want, you can take a 2-hour break after we're done here today and come back. I'll be here once again, and we're going to be doing a game industry discussion. Today it's going to be resources for game developers. So if you guys are curious and interested in that, come on back by at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be kicking that off. It usually runs for about an hour, so I suppose we'll see you at that point. Anyway, we're going to begin a new game. So the way AI War 2 works is you can customize everything down to the most minute detail for the perfect scenario that you want to run against the AI. So that's really cool. They also have implemented multiplayer, which is really nice. However, they have these quick start things. These quick starts are essentially all the details and all of the creating the perfect scenario. It's all kind of done in predetermined, all right, this is the basic, this is where you can start off, and it has a little bit of an easier beginning for you. And then there's several different scenarios here, kind of help teach you the game, shows you the difficulty ramping up, what you have, and then there's always a little descriptor here that explains what's going on. Then you can go into the moderate tier, harder, extreme, so on and so forth. Then you get into Civil War, then you go into some of the community ones that people have enjoyed. Fun with factions. The TSR is the Spire Rises, that's the first DLC, so anything with TSR attached to it is specifically designed with the Spire Rises, and you see they have implemented a few of those throughout. Then the Zenith Onslaught, second DLC. All the Zos or the Zos are there. And then finally, they just released the Nine Zul Abyss. Now, if you want to play as the humans, which is a bit more along the lines of what you've done this entire time playing AI War 2, by all means, dive in and play through as the humans, which is the Nine Zul Abyss campaign specifically, or quick start group. If you want to play as the new Necromancer group, you go to the Necromancer quick start group, or campaign, if you will, and you can see here there are a whole bunch of them. They are incredibly different from what you are used to. In fact, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to dive in and begin our necromantic ways. We're going to go with the easy one because I might not be terrible at it at that point. It's really tough. It's a very far departure from what you're used to. So I do recommend the Necromancer Introduction Easy Quick Start, as it will be very useful. Into Spotlight. All right, let's start the game. Now, it's going to pop up right here. I'm going to hit spacebar to pause. And it tells us right here, Necromancer Overview. Stop! The Necromancer is an entirely different playstyle than the Human Empire. You must relearn your skills and change your expectations. Read. There's a lot of how to play and advice in the Tips tab in the left-hand menu. Enjoy, as this is a whole new game experience. Think of yourself as not being in AI War 2 anymore. You still are, and you'll see a lot of familiar stuff, but the way you play is quite significantly different. So, let's dive into it a little bit here. So ordinarily, when you first start off, you have like your cryopods, and you have your main base, your main planet, and all that stuff starts to build up. As the Necromancers, everything's already kind of built and ready to go. If we take a look at our fleet, it's basically ready, or very, very quickly going to be ready, as everything is getting produced. And we have these buildings. This is our phylactery. This is our main base. If this gets destroyed, we have no other necropolises around. That's it, we're done. So this has some defensive abilities. It's somewhat tanky at 750k overall hull strength and 1.5 million shield strength, so it will take a while to get through it. Then we also have the Necromancer Morgue, which will allow us to have one Igor. It's the little hunchback guy that helps Dr. Frankenstein. And he sounds like, "Yes, master. I want some juicy spiders." Anyway, so you get the idea. Then we also have ourselves the Skeleton Rogue Home, which will give us some skeleton rogues. These are basically producing the armada, or the various different ships that are going to be attached to our flagship. They have the Possessed White and the Necromancer Shipyard, which allows us to build stuff much quicker. I'm also noticing I don't have my chat up. Hold on one second, folks. There we go. All right, chat is up and running. There we are. All right. Weird how when I left, it like immediately changed the music. Cool though. Okay, so what else is different? Well, first off, you go to the normal build menu, and you'll see the stuff that says hexes. Well, as you go through, you can actually upgrade each of your necropolises, your necropoli, whatever they are, and you're able to get them all the way up to like rank 6, or I guess it's rank 7. You can upgrade them 6 times to rank 7. And as you're doing that, every time you do it, you get additional hexes that you're able to use. Hexes are what you use to build the buildings. The buildings kind of vary on what they do. The vast majority of them are going to be ships that you can then actually put to your actual flagships. So like this one, it says right here, it's right down near the bottom here. This fleet is bolstering a Necro Fleet Blight. So this is Blight right here, and this is the Blight Necropolis. So any of these buildings that we put down are going to add extra ships to our flagship and increase our overall armada. On top of that, so you have ships, you have whites, you have skeletons. They're all still kind of ships. They're all the same boat. They're just called different things. And then down here we have defenses. So say we're like, oh, actually we're in a very interesting spot. We're definitely going to want to use some defenses. Let's take a look at the map. I had a really, really good start one time. Like I would have started like here or something. It was crazy. It was even better than this, but we had a really good start where I was just like completely protected. I was like, oh my god, this is like the best start I've ever had in this game. Alright, so we're exposed on many sides, so this might be a little bit rough, but we'll see if we can handle it. So essentially, we scroll up to the top, we have 4 out of 7 used, meaning we have 3 more hexes we can use. I am going to put down a Totem of Protect. And you'll see the little circle. That means that it will basically absorb any attacks coming in that circle until like the little orbs get destroyed. I'm also going to try, and this might be a mistake, I'm going to try to plop down a building that's going to give us a bit more power with our fleet. So as those go down, which are pretty quick, we're going to be fine. I'm going to hit this right here. Enable pursuit mode. When in pursuit mode, your ships will act on their own, hunting down enemies, kiting them, and so forth. So I usually have that always on. So that's going to be a thing. I also tend to run the game at 1.5x speed. That's just what I've gotten used to. Don't feel obligated to do that if you're going to pick up the game and try it yourself. Alright, looking around, pretty much all of these places that are immediately connected to us are okay places for us to go. The problem is, there's so many problems actually. I don't know the best course of action here. Alright, so on top of everything else, this particular start gave us a big, gigantic boost to our everything. So not only do we start with extra science, extra hacking points, and extra essence, we also start with a lot of research and stuff like already unlocked. So if we go take a look here, let's go back in. If we go to hacking, we can transform the flagship Necrofleet Blight into one of these other things. Now, ordinarily, you actually have to go find these. You can hack them from, what I've heard is you can hack them from the Elderlings, or you can find them in these things right here. These Templar Rifts, and basically you hack that, it unlocks, and then you're going to be able to go ahead and do that. Right now, we're not going to do that yet. We might do that in a minute, but we're not going to do it quite yet. So let's go take a look. We have all of this stuff that we can use, so we're going to use some of it. Like, I already know that the Draugr is going to be a pretty big deal, so I'm going to put a couple points into that immediately. I also know that I want to upgrade both the Necro Fleet. I'm probably going to do maybe 4 times. That's bold, and I'm going to do 1 to the actual necropolis here. So this will now allow me to do quite a bit of cool stuff, but we'll get to that in a minute. And let's go take a look at the build thing now. So we did upgrade it once. We got 2 more hexes that we can use. I am going to put the Totem of Life here. And this is essentially going to damage enemies and heal us, if I recall correctly. Yes, it's got the Drainer Beam, and then also hits 1 target multi-beam, up to 4 target per beam, does a bunch of stuff. But it also heals itself in the process, and it gains additional beam attack with each mark upgrade. And it summons Orbs of Mending to heal damaged allies. So there are going to be some orbs that are going to be floating around here soon that are actually going to heal us up. I think the first place I'm going to go is over here, and I'm going to attack. I'm going to wait for these things to build. And once they do, we're going to be able to move on, as we're going to get slightly more power overall. Now, the way the Necromancers do tend to work is you sort of want to snowball as you defeat enemies. If you're familiar with the AI War 2 base game or any of the expansions up to this point, you'll know you'll be familiar with zombification. That's certain parasitic weapons you're able to use. You can actually defeat enemy units, and then they become anti-AI zombies, and the AI can sometimes do that as well, or it's anti-player zombies. And essentially, as you're fighting the enemy, you're converting their ships into these zombie ships that then just go out and have a mind of their own. They attack, however they feel like attacking. You have no control over it. Much like that, you have the same thing here as you defeat enemies, but you actually gain control of those ships. They have, I believe, a limited time that they're alive, but that means that your normal core strength here of 20 then gets boosted up to like 50, and then like 70, and then like 300. You know, you just keep kind of snowballing and going with your armada from one spot to the next to the next. So it is a pretty cool thing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load up one. I oftentimes don't load up the ships anymore because, again, you kind of have that snowball, that death ball scenario coming out. And you want your ships just really like just coming in and just doing damage. So we're attacking with a strength of 26. Now as we go, or I think we started at 20 and then we took over 2. So as we go through here and we start taking some more of these things out, it's now up to 29. Take a few more out. Go over here. It's still at 29. These are much weaker ships than normal. So we kind of capped out at 29, but you'll see we have 108 out of 77 total, so there is a definitive difference. So we're definitely going to hack this thing at some point. Now, we have options here. These all do various different things. So we can unlock extra specters, ghasts, draugrs, skeleton rogues, or infectious wights, one of those. And they will allow us to build additional buildings. So if we go back to Ray here, and we look over at our buildings, we can have a maximum of 1, we have a maximum of 2, 2, 1, so on and so forth. When we go and we do these hack upgrades, these are going to actually give us the ability to build, like, say, it was a infectious wight. We'll be able to build a second infectious wight building. So we're able to actually get more specific units if we want to. Now, one other thing that we hadn't done yet is they have unspent modules here. So we're going to go here. This is the flagship. So this is actually back on Corvus 3. So if we look at our flagship, our fleet here, it'll say there are unspent modules. So essentially we have +8 modules we can use. And we have all these various different things that we can do and the cost for each one. So I'm going to go with enhanced shield and hull. I'm going to go with the fusion bomb and the decloaker. And that's going to be what we stick with for now. And that's going to upgrade us a bit. Once we get a little bit more necromantic essence, we're going to go ahead and convert this ship into something hopefully really, really, really powerful. Let's just take a quick peek at what it's going to cost us. If I wanted to transform it into a transcendent flagship, I can do that, but it's going to cost... I think the cost is always the same. I just need to be a high enough level. Flagship at Mark 6 or above. I actually don't know why. Oh, maybe because we're disabled? As soon as the disabling wears off, which I think it's going to here in a second. We close this and reopen it. Cannot currently hack because you cannot transform on a planet with significant enemy strength. Okay, that's the reason why. That's one of the earmarks or the things that you'll always notice with any kind of Arkham game. They are very, very good at giving you details and important information. So, yeah. We're actually going to claim this place too. So I'm going to take this out. And if we take a look now, I am apparently not quite high enough level to do this yet. So we're going to actually start building up to get this. So I would like to see what a transcendent one looks like. I've not seen that before. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hack this though. The Rift and... I think I'm going to go with infectious wights or the draugrs. Or ghasts. Ghasts aren't terrible. Let's go with ghasts. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to start finding stuff like this. Do you have any more? Essentially, we need to start finding the necromantic, or sorry, the elderling things that are all over the place. And as we find those, things are going to start becoming much easier for us. We're going to go with go ahead and get a minor necropolis here. I'll plop that down. It's going to be pretty much immediate. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to build a protect totem. And we're going to build... Let's build some ghasts. Where are they? We'll build one ghast, and do we have enough for... We do. We're also going to build the Totem of Life. I do like the Totem of Life. It's one of my... one of the things is kind of like one of my go-to situations. Alright, we're going to leave that place, essentially, and just move on to the next. Now, there's unspent modules again. This is for the phylactery back on Ray. So this is our main base. There's all these various different things that we can do as well. So I'm going to summon caged skeletons. I'm going to get some enhanced shields, and I'm going to get the rail cannon and repulsor rocket. And then it's going to tell me that the thing we just built has 2 points. We go for the rail cannon and the repulsor rocket on that. Alright, so here we are. We're coming in with a strength of 29. Let's see what we can end up. Alright, we're already up to 32. And as we start taking down more and more enemies, as they start moving their way to battle us, our overall power is just going to increase. We're up to 33. And you get the idea. Like I said, death ball. Just think, the more we attack, the more enemies are going to convert over to our side, and the more damage we're going to be able to do, as we're just going to increase the strength over and over and over. Now, I want to go up and attack that thing, because it's sending... Oh, this is very important to take down. So we're going to actually go check that out here in a second. But first, I want to take this thing out. Now, currently, there's one thing that I'm not in love with when it comes to the Necromancer thing. It is modifying my playstyle, and that's fine, but it's hard to get used to doing. Did we actually take that out, or did it just go to another planet? I don't think we took it out. Anyway, and that is that your flagship doesn't actually have a force field on it like you often are used to having. So therefore, that basically means that your flagship is kind of getting slapped. It's one of the focal points as you're moving around for the enemy to attack. And they do. They absolutely do it. Alright, they are sending forces to try and essentially stop us. Now, they just sent Templar units. And the Templar units... this is sniper range defense, orbits around the gravity well, dealing extra damage farther away it is from its target. Oh, skull pile. Cool. Alright. So the Templar ships, when you destroy them and you take them down and you beat them, they do not actually become your... They don't, like, turn to your side like the rest of the stuff does when you just defeat it or destroy it. So the Necromantic group is actually... Or sorry, the Templar group is basically anti-Necromancer. And even if you do manage to defeat them, it doesn't go well for you. So there's 78 strength for the enemy here, only 62 for us. But as we move through, our strength is going to increase. Not really sure how it's 62. Because maybe our ship itself is making up the extra. I would like to take out this feeble elderling if we can. Because it's going to get us, not a lot, but it'll get us, let's see here. 28 points, that's actually more than I expected. 28 essence as a Necromancer, and that's going to allow us to do more upgrades and such. So let's go take a quick peek. If I can get up to 60 points, I actually need like more like 80 overall, but if I get up to at least 60, it's going to be okay. And we also have human resistance fighters that are coming through to help us. Again, they gave you a much easier start to give you an idea of how to actually play. Because this is, again, vastly different than anything that you've done before. Gonna take that down immediately. Alright, so the AIP is going to start going up now. Ordinarily, when you're playing AI War 2, you want to keep your AIP down. As much as possible, you look around for situations to lower it and just different ways to keep it under wraps. You still sort of want to do that if you can, but it getting larger is actually not necessarily terrible. I'm going to let this thing hatch. This is a elderling egg. I'm going to actually let it hatch, and we're going to utilize it. But for right now, what we're going to do is another minor necropolis. Which, again, every time we do put down a necropolis, the unfortunate reality is we are then tied into using 10 more of our necromantic energies in order to do that, which slows our advancement further. But we're going to be able to hack this thing. So we're going to hack the Templar Rift. And you'll see here we can obtain life essence from it. And we may do that. I actually think I will do that. So I'm going to go ahead and obtain life essence from it. So that's going to be 30 extra life essence. And we're going to be pretty close to being able to upgrade this to the next tier.
Hacking job complete.
Once this is hatched in about a minute's time, we're going to be able to take that down as well. And since this is out now, we can go ahead and we can build up the stuff that we want to build. I'm just going to go with a Protect Totem on this one. And then I'm going to go with another Igor, which will allow me to have another little floaty heart thing that'll heal me. Don't know what this does. Oh, it slows enemy ships so they can't escape. Okay, that sounds good. We'll do one of those. And we'll get maybe some infectious whites coming our way. And can we do Draugrs? No, we can't. That's a 2x. Yeah, why not some more skeleton rogues? Just toss them into the mix. That seems fine. Alright, so looking at the map, we've claimed this place, we've claimed this place, and this is our home. I sort of don't want to move from here too quickly, but we can go to Tyran and just smack it. I mean, I don't really think there's much here. There's going to be enemy forces, but I mean, I don't think there's much here that we're going to have to really worry about. So very nice. I love the soundtrack, love the music. I've been a big fan of Arkham games for a very, very long time, long before I ever joined up and started working with the Indie Brothers. So it was one of those kind of dream come true scenarios that I actually get a chance to put my mark, to have a little something that I get to contribute to Arkham games. I think that's a really, really cool thing. It's one of those things that I'm really, really, really happy that I get a chance to do. Alright, we're going to head back through to Espa now. And it looks like they're going to be sending some stuff through anyway to try to escape. And this thing just showed up as well. So they're going to try to attack and take stuff down. It's going to, be mildly inconvenient, sure, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. And now that we're here, they're like, yeah, maybe we don't want to do this. Yes, and you will see us dancing with these guys. Now they will try to bounce back and forth between the two different places. Try and survive. And I think it's adorable that they do that. But this one is going to get us only 3. I'm not sure why the other one, the feeble one, gave us more than this one did, but it's okay. Also, Ray is actually getting slapped right now pretty hard, so we should probably get over there and help out. They do like to be kind of bold with their attacks, and it works. But we got a little bit going on here that to kind of stop or at least slow them down. We're going to be coming through essentially right as the enemy does. And we're going to unload right now. I think it's about a 10-second delay before we can start attacking with our forces once they unload. But that's still in plenty of time. And we're looking pretty good here. Alright, so we have managed to get the 60 that we needed for the upgrade here. So this is putting us essentially at tier 6. I don't ever recommend doing this. I really want to see what that one thing is. So I am doing this. It's arguably and very possibly just a bad idea in general, but it's my bad idea. It's what I'm doing. We're gonna see. Okay, well, we're gonna head back to Tyran and we're going to build up there. We're just gonna claim another spot. One more minor necromantic thing and we'll be looking good. Our overall strength is increased, not just because of our consistent and constant battles that we've been going. That helps, but also because we've been adding a few extra troops for every single spot that we come by and we stop at. So that is helping us quite a lot. Now, we're more than strong enough to handle this. I'm going to go ahead and, unfortunately, I actually can't build anything more right now because of how little of the necromantic juice that we have going. But don't worry, we'll fix that in a hot second here. And head back to Espa. It's kind of coming through here. And essentially what we're looking for is this. We want to get back over there. So we're going to go to Ray real quick. And we're going to try and attack that other spot. Now what happens with the Elderlings, again this is a wrathful one, it's only 3. What happens with the Elderlings are they tend to... It just disappeared. So I don't know where it ended up actually going, but we'll figure it out. They will just bypass all defenses and go directly for your, like, capital city oftentimes. I'm going to check here before we fully commit. Oop. Nope. They are not there. Alright, we're going to go to Kruskal. And our ship itself is pretty strong. It will do damage to stuff. As you see, we are kind of obliterating things. Okay, no such luck on the enemy that disappeared. We're gonna go try over here. Again, it could be literally anywhere at this point. We did lose track of it. That's on me. It's my fault. There it is. There's the one that we were looking for. Let's unload and let's do the dance. Let's take out the wrathful Elderling. Our goal is taking that thing down. That's just the start, though. Unfortunately, we still can't do a whole lot. But it's a solid start. It's good. Take the fight there. Stop the thing that was spawning little baby drones to come take us down. As you see, our power is just increasing over and over. Espa is actually being attacked right now, which is not necessarily great. So we go take a look. We do need to handle this, unfortunately. So we're going to have to load up one. There it is. All right. And we got to go to Espa. So what I'm going to do eventually... I'm not sure. I might actually put it at Tyran. Not really positive that I will. But a major necropolis. When you plop down a major necropolis... Ooh, there's a ship right there. I wish I didn't have to go over here right now. When you plop down a major necropolis... Ooh, that's a really good one. We got to go get that, like, immediately. Major necropolis, you get a second fleet. And then everything in that necropolis is actually tied to the fleet. Oh, wait. It survived. It handled itself. Okay, we're going the other way. Awesome, awesome. That's really good. That's why we get those upgrades that we get. We got the proton torpedo and all the other stuff, or photon torpedo, or whatever it was. You know, all the little things that we picked up, we get them for reasons. Go, 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 go. Unload. Attack with all abandoned. Reckless and otherwise. It went through, right? Yeah, we gotta take it down. Alright, we did. We took it down. And now we're gonna go over here. We're gonna attack another feeble one. That's another 34. Oh, this is the dream stuff right here that we're finding. Alright. Take this thing out, and we're going to be looking really, really, really solid. Alright. AIP is handled. What we're going to do now is, as I sort of stated before, Gonna load up, and I'm gonna head back to Espa. Actually, I'm gonna head all the way to Tyran. I should be able to make it there and then get back to Ray in time to save Ray. And once we do get back to Ray, I am going to upgrade our ship to the Transcendent one, which I've been eager to check out and see how that actually looks. I know there's a bunch of stuff down here that's kind of hidden behind me, and I apologize, folks. Most of it's not super important to see anyway, but essentially there's enable attack move mode. There's enable group move mode, where when in group mode, the collection of ships will all keep track of each other's speeds and move only as fast as the slowest amongst them. Then we have enable pursuit mode, which is directly behind me here. I already talked about that, where they go and they kite and they do everything basically automatically. Enable stop and shoot mode. Your ships will always shoot at enemies as they head to where they are going. But enable this mode to make them actually stop to fight anything they run across. You can also press K to turn on stop to shoot mode. And then you also have pause, which will basically turn off the selected ship for everything but their engines, essentially making them just move to where you want them to go versus fighting along the way. So those are the things at the bottom right, and also there's the delete key. If there's certain buildings that you built that you want to delete, you can do that. But other than that, there's nothing really down there. So I figured this was still the best place for the camera down here. Suppose I can move it over slightly. Let's see. Let's see if we can't fix that. Momento por favor. I think I can leave this on pause, though, while I do it. There, we'll transition over. There we go. I guess that looks a little bit better. Alright, so we're here now. We're going to do Major Necropolis. We're going to plop it down right there. And essentially that gives us a second flagship. Now this one's going to head back over here to Ray. We're going to deal with whatever we got to deal with. So flagship number 2 is here. There's nothing built, but we're going to fix that here. We're going to actually go with another shipyard. We're going to go with a skeleton archer. We're going to go with a single Igor. We're going to go with a protect totem.
I have my orders.
We have 2 more, and we're going to go with some draugrs. Alright. So we're on our way. We're just kind of healing up as we walk through, or float through, I suppose. We're kind of flying and floating. Alright, I'm going to put 2 down, actually over here to Sekakara. I have no idea how to say that. And they're going to help defend. 1 should be here any second. 1 is here. We're going to be able to unload and save the day. Oh, 1 got obliterated. We're still going to be able to save the day. We're going to have to heal up, though. And again, this is one of those issues that I have with this over everything else. Well, I say we're going to be able to save the day. We will. We've got this. Our forces are strong enough, and we are rapidly refixing our ship up here. And they did hurt us, but they didn't take us all the way down. So our fleet kicked in. But once we upgrade this to the next tier, to the Transcendent one, we're not going to drop that quickly. That's no longer going to be an issue. And that is critically important. So you'll see this is not a very powerful force at all, this little flagship over here, but it's okay. Alright, 1 is back up and running. Yep, 1 is back up and running full strength now, and what we're going to do is go here, and we're going to transform it to a Transcendent flagship. And you'll see it comes automatically with the anti-shield plasma bolt, fusion bomb, yellow solar flare, I don't even know what that is, a supernova attack. It's the ultimate vessel. Cannot be supercharged. It has a decloaker, it's got tractor beams and a gravity field already, so it's gonna be a big deal. Transcendent, yes. Alright, and it looks like it has been fully upgraded. It's got 10.5 million health, 8.75 million shield, and a lot of modules to throw in. So let's go take a look at what we can do here. Necro Fleet, Blight. Flagship levels from Essence, 75 to level up. Alright, so we're going to go here. And essentially we have 9 points. I think we're going to enhance the shields in the hull. And why not? We'll go with the gravitic core. Seems fine. It's going to disable it for a few seconds, but now our overall health here, I'm going to wait till it's fully back up and running. 15.7 million and 13.1 million. If we take a look at number 2, this is where we started, 600k and 300k. So it's moved a little bit. The needle's moved. We're doing all right. You know, we're okay. Not a lot of scary stuff going on our side right now. Okay, so we're gonna go and do some work, and it's gonna be great. Gonna send them off there. I think 2 is gonna actually claim this. We're gonna start building 2 up now. That's the new plan here. 2 must come out of this looking a little stronger, if possible. And you see they're already sending some Paladin Hunter fleets over here to hurt us. Unfortunately, we're not all that strong yet, so if we did actually claim this immediately, it would actually probably go pretty bad for us, so I am pretty happy that we're starting to kind of strike back a little bit. Meanwhile, 1 has shown up and is going to be doing terrible things to so many stuff. Injuncts and things and whatnots. Alright. So we've handled this. What we're going to do now is we're not going to do another major one. We're going to go with the minor. I'm going to plop it down. It's going to start getting everything ready to go here. We are going to once again Draugr. I'm going to go with an infectious white. I'm going to put the protect totem down still. We got 1 more that we can do. Sure, we'll do an Ico there. Why not? And while looking at 1, just deleting stuff. It's a multitude of everything. We're going to fight our way basically up to this to lower the AIP again. Because our next move is to move here when it's time. Oh, that's a lot. To move here when it's time and build up a defensive force. It is not time yet, so I'll be aware of that. Alright, so 1 is just basically going to walk around and just hurt stuff for a little while. We do have unspent modules. This is the flagship, the weaker flagship that we have. We're going to go with enhanced shield, hull, and that's it. There's 2 more unspent modules. This is the Major Necropolis and Tyran. We'll do some rail cannon, repulsor rocket, shield. Actually, get rid of the rail cannon. We're going to go with the enhanced hull. All right, Old Murdoch is where we're attacking. And this is Minor Necropolis that we just built. So we're going to build these 2 things. So our massive fleet is already just scary. But now we also have the human resistance fighters coming through and doing work. It is crazy to see the power of the Transcendent one. I've never seen the Transcendent one before.
You're welcome.
It's pretty gnarly. They are hurting stuff quite badly. Alright, where are we at now? Alright, we're gonna move up here to Mitchell. And we're gonna, I said, destroy this. It's gonna lower the AIP by 20. Again, when you can, you should do whatever you can to actually lower the AIP, but it's not as critical as it is when you're normally playing, because, again, you can get out of control pretty rapidly. Okay. I feel like there may be something here that is invisible. I'm not sure because there's like constant beams coming out. A little weird. So one of the things we can do to check is go here. Modules, let's unenhance the shields, and let's check the decloaker. Also, we want to turn these on to actual, like, go and fight if things need to go and fight. And we have not a lot to play with, so probably won't play with it too much. All right. So we definitely walked over this. This was not very impressive. AIP down from the data center. And essentially just going to kind of walk through just a whole bunch of stuff, just weakening things at this point, building up that death ball. We don't know where the enemy is. I definitely want to get over here and take this on. So we'll see at some point if we can actually do that. I think I might be ready to try hitting Corrin with number 2. Number 2 is definitely not very strong. In fact, 2 is almost already immediately crippled. We're probably just going to go back through. Because we are a little bit too weak still. It's okay. Meanwhile, over here, we are not weak at all. We are putting the damage out on enemies. We have raised our first mummy. Sweet. Alright, nothing's really fighting back against us right now. We got about 15 minutes left of the game. The last time I played this particular or specific scenario, it took me roughly 4 hours to beat. Same thing with the human campaign from the Nine Zul Abyss. So you can play through.
The AI is preparing to attack our home planet.
So you can play through like one full scenario in, you know, like 4 hours, but then you get into some of the more complicated, the more difficult ones, and it does take quite a bit to get through those. Because I have actually faced off against some where it was like 10, 12 hours for me to get through it. You will get a lot of time out of this game if you really enjoy it and you want to actually, you know, take the time to learn how to play it and get decent at it. Or even just the learning process. It does take quite a bit of time, but I don't know. It's one of my favorite RTS games out there because I actually get a chance to go around and do things with my armies, essentially. Whereas in most RTS games, you're just like, well, let me quickly just spam all these buttons and get as many forces to go in a random area as possible and have no micro control or anything. To me, it's not a very enjoyable experience, that scenario. This one, I create my forces, and then I go out and I use those forces, and I do damage, and it's glorious and great, and I love it. It is very, very nice, in my opinion. All right, we gotta get back to Ray, because Ray's about to get slapped by stuff. It'll take us a little bit to get there, but I'm not particularly worried. We're gonna go back to Corrin as well and just try to hurt whatever's here. It'll take us a minute, but we'll get there. Come on, one. One is really slow, actually. Come on. We are actually holding our own kind of here, which is nice. But there's almost always more forces coming. They like to send their little paladin groups through, which we just delete in like one single fan blade of laser beam attack. It's kind of funny. Meanwhile, Corrin over here, it's trying. It's not doing very well. I'm actually going to send the actual flagship 2 back down here in hopes that it can actually heal. The army itself, or the, I guess is it a navy? I don't know. The fleet? I guess the fleet. The fleet itself not doing so bad, but everything else, eh. Alright, so we're going to move over there. We're going to take that on. I want to go and, like, crush this, so that's going to be my plan. Hopefully I'll be able to do that before the end of our stream on this day. Don't forget, guys and gals, in about 2 hours and 10 minutes time, we'll be diving into some game industry discussions right here on the Indie Brothers PR YouTube and the Twitch channels. So if you guys want a bit more game industry focused stuff, we'll definitely have that for you. Today's going to be all about resources game developers can use. I'm not entirely certain all that we're bringing to the table on this one, but I think we all have a little bit that we're going to be offering. And between the three of us, we'll come up with some hopeful, useful things for you guys. Because I personally have stuff that I also want to talk to the folks about before I just spout it off that I think are very useful for game developers. But you know, I don't want to put us out of a job or anything. Kidding, I won't do that. I definitely won't do that. All right, so we crushed that. That was not that big of an issue. All right, our science. Okay, so we've kind of claimed a few extra areas. Anytime we claim extra areas, we start like harvesting the science from the different places, and we get extra hacking points. So at this point, our sciences are still really high, and we have actually gathered a fair few forces. So we can start seeing some trends, like the infectious white, for instance. That is a +4. Now would be a +8 if we upgrade it again. The Draugr, as projected and thought about, definitely are one of our stronger units. We're going to put some points into that. And in reality, really nothing else is shining through. I am going to upgrade our Igor a couple times, just because I want that extra healing, and I'm going to upgrade a mummy. Alright. So 2 is still working on fixing itself. It's this is not the fastest it can fix. Hold on. Yeah, I gotta see. Do we have... Okay, we're gonna put 2 back over here. With the Orb of Mending, it'll be much quicker. And as you see, stuff doesn't really hold up against the Transcendent big boy here. Kind of just gets molly-whopped, and that's pretty much it. Alright, 2 is almost back up and running, I dare say. We have a little bit of extra here. What we could do is upgrade the second Necro Fleet, upgrade those, and it'll be slightly more powerful. Take this thing down, and we said good day, sir. And it just immediately becomes a mummy. Big ships become mummies. Mummies have ridiculous health. They have pretty low overall damage, but they can devour ships and all sorts of other crazy stuff. It's really cool. This is a very, very cool DLC that they just added. I have been thoroughly enjoying my time playing it and getting to stream it. Alright, we're going to go and do some more damage over here. And it looks like Ray's getting hit a little bit, but I'm not particularly worried about it. 2, gosh, 2's nearly there. 97%, it's basically done. Just gonna go here and just obliterate. Just crush everything. Alright, so what's going on? Xanadu and Utagawa. That's Xanadu, this is Utagawa? Alright, that's fine. Oh, this thing moved forward. Oh, it's a constructor, okay. I hadn't realized that this thing actually kind of made a run for it. We have the big boys coming through, and he's going to help out, but we just don't want anything to be able to flee. We want to make sure that we take it down. All nice and pretty like. We're like, aha, we fended off the attack. It's, uh-oh, it's back. Yeah, it's back. I'm back, sorry. Sorry, you're a very short-lived victory dance for you there, buddy. Oh, look at the little baby stuff that they're throwing our way. Yeah, it's kind of scary. All right, so we've gone here, and what I wanted to do from this spot was actually destroy this, and I want to take it over with a defensive place. Now, defensive ones, you cannot actually tie any ships to, which, again, what you're really going to do is, like, some skull piles, maybe a couple skull piles. You're going to go with treachery, system, which does stuff when you... Wait, what? Skull piles 2 each? They are. We're also going to actually upgrade this anyway. Severin. So we're going to go here to upgrade. We're going to go down to Severin. Severn. Go ahead and we're going to increase that by 1. And then we're going to go back to building. We're going to get the treachery dealy going. And that is not going to work. We're going to have to get rid of this. Take it out. And we're going to want to put a protect totem there. And that should actually be enough to really kind of hold everything together. Meanwhile, I think we're going to group up 2. We're going to send it down to Ray, which is actually being mollywopped right now. Okay, we seem to have crushed whatever we were doing over here, which is nice. We're going to actually go back to Xanadu. And we're going to get rid of this thing, whatever it is. Oh, I don't know about this. We're here to help, but at the same time, I don't know that we can. I don't know that we have enough oomph to actually help. Because they already threw a little baby attack. Now they're throwing through also extra... Oh, what is the word? Hunter fleets through. And I think we're going to be okay. And they also had some zombification stuff coming. But it looks like we recovered from everything. So it's not that scary. We have a lot of stuff that's kind of knocking things back and keeping us safe. And they're only coming through with an 11 piece right here. It looks menacing, and it is. Like, it's a lot of stuff, but... Uh-oh, that's a bit more menacing, actually. We gotta kill that thing if we can. Meanwhile, what's going on over here? How about we load you up? And once you're loaded up, why don't you come back down to Ray? I mean, I don't know. Worst case, we lose something and stuff moves around. It's not the end of the world, but still. What are we looking at for upgrading light? We need 30. And we'll won't quite get 30, but we're fine. We're safe. Alright, one's there. Let's go up here. Is that feeble? Ooh, it is feeble. We're gonna get 40 off of this. Oh, this is gonna be glorious. Put me through. Don't let him get to Murrah. He went through to Murrah. Take him down. Alright, so we handled the defense, which is perfect. That's exactly what we needed. Okay, so that's set up for defensive. In reality, there's not much left for us to do, so let's just head over to Crew Skull. Let's see what we can get done there.
Allied resistance ships joining the fight.
Wait, what? He got away from me? No, that's not okay. We're gonna send one out after this thing. Do not want this to get away from us. Apparently it has like anti-us defenses. There's no reason for it to survive.
Resistance cell strike successful. They are headed home.
Alright, where's Harmony? Harmony is up over here? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what we can do now on Ray is we can upgrade Ray, which is right here. Upgrade, we can almost upgrade it again, but not quite. And what we can do from there is go over here and we can actually build up some more defensive stuff. Because mostly what we've been building up has not necessarily been defensive stuff. It was more along the lines of just extra things. Yeah, we'll do this. extra ships for our main fleet, essentially what we were doing. Anyway, guys and gals, that's pretty much the game in a nutshell. Move from spot to spot. Let's see if we can take a peek on the overall map. Eventually, as you expand out, you take new territory. The enemy's AI, the AI's progress is going to start going up more and more, resulting in nastier and meaner attacks coming against us. However, at some point, we're going to expand far enough that we will see far enough in the galaxy to wherever the enemy AI's home world is. Once we see that, we're actually able to go to that spot and take it over, defeat the AI, and essentially win the game. But that's neither here nor there because we are not going to be able to do that on this day. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this kind of first look, if you've never seen it before, at the latest DLC. Don't forget, guys and gals, now through till the 29th of April at 1 p.m. Eastern, launch discount for the latest DLC, the Nine Zul Abyss, AI War 2, AI War 2's first DLC, The Spire Rises, are both 60% off. The Zenith Onslaught is 33% off, and then the rest of the Arkham Games library is 75% off, except for Valley Without Wind 1 and 2. Ty Dallas are both all three are 80% off, and Shattered Haven is 85% off. And all of those sales, not the launch discount sale that we have for the Nine Zul Abyss, but everything else, it ends, I believe, on May 9th. So you guys can save a whole bunch of money on some of the things that you haven't picked up from Arkham Games if you want. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you all back in about 2 hours' time when we dive into our game industry discussions, all about resistance and stuff. No, all about different resources game developers can use. All right, take care. I've been your host, Bumpy McSquigums. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.